back to Free Media. I'm Robby Soave.
And I'm Amber Duke. The New York City mayoral race is heating up as the candidates recently faced off in their first debate. Former Governor Andrew Cuomo appears to be the frontrunner, but Zohran Mamdani, a Democratic socialist, is surging after Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez endorsed him. Take a look at this.
So let's talk about this endorsement by Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. How could it shake up the state of the race?
I think it really reinforces what's become the main dynamic in this race, and that is we always knew Andrew Cuomo was the front runner. There's this crowded pack. Who's going to be the main challenger? I think it clearly is Zohran Mamdani. And her appeal, Ocasio-Cortez's appeal, I think overlaps with what Mamdani's has been so far. So I think it reinforces, it doesn't necessarily expand. He's doing best with younger voters, self-described very liberal voters, college-educated voters. He actually does better with white voters than non-white voters. That sort of progressive base of the Democratic Party we talk about a lot is with AOC, and it's increasingly with him in this race.
Well, it certainly is going to add a fascinating dynamic.
I don't know. You think he can pull it off?
I don't know. Apparently he's within 2 points of Andrew Cuomo now, and there were some people who were noting that his stock started to rise even before the AOC endorsement came in, and that sort of continued boosting him. But there were a lot of moments during the debate where he kind of went viral. One of them, notably, that got left-right populist crossover was his skepticism about a question asking if he would visit Israel if he were serving as New York City mayor. And he's like, why would I do that? I'm the mayor of New York City. But then you go and look at his website and his policies, and it's just like free everything. And you realize he's actually kind of a clown.
Right. I saw him being dragged by some of the more neoconservative or pro-Israel right people for saying, he was asked if Israel has the right to exist. And I thought his answer was perfectly fine. He said, well, yes, but not as an ethno-state, not as a state that gives preferential treatment to people based on race or the other. And, you could debate whether that is the case in Israel, but just say, I didn't think that was a controversial way to put it. Yes, but not with all of the policies it has that I don't necessarily agree with. That's fine. And even that was not enough for some of the more pro-Israel right people.
I thought that was totally the wrong tack
on that. And he's the mayor of New York. Who cares?
Right.
But yes, then the other, the Democratic Socialist, and I go,
then you're like, oh,
I don't
no,
like any
you
of his
almost had
policies.
me.
Look, I don't find him to be the most off-putting salesman, he seems like a nice person, and I really don't like Andrew Cuomo. So if I were living in New York, I might genuinely, I wouldn't vote for either of them, but if you put a gun to my head, I would be genuinely conflicted because I really don't like Andrew Cuomo, and I can't believe he's coming back, and I almost don't want this comeback to be validated with victory, but then if it means Democratic Socialist instead, I don't know what I would do.
I would write in Curtis Lewa 17 cats.
Of course you would.
Not Curtis Lewa, the cats.
Does he have 17 cats?
It's a lot of cats.
Oh my God, that's a lot of cats.
Yeah, it might be more than 17. I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
Cuomo, we should remind viewers in case they've forgotten or don't know, but they probably do know, left office in disgrace, ostensibly for sexual harassment accusations that were very, very numerous. Make of those what you will. More disturbing for me and probably for you and actually most people, and just not the media. The media only cares about the sexual misconduct stuff.
Well, that was a convenient way to get him out of office without talking about the COVID response. Exactly. It was a bait and switch.
Not just having a policy that resulted in deaths of elderly people in nursing homes, but then subsequently trying to cover up, trying to conceal how bad that policy was in service of selling more books that his book he had written about how great and what a hero he was. That was some really low stuff, and he should not be returning to office because of it.
And the Trump DOJ is now investigating that, right? Because what they had done was they deliberately counted elderly people who caught COVID in a nursing home and then were transferred to a hospital and died in a hospital as not nursing home deaths. It only counted as a nursing home death if you literally died in your bed in the nursing home.
Oh my God.
I mean, come on.
It's right.
It's crazy. And then him and his aide, Melissa DeRosa, allegedly conspired to count them this way deliberately to disguise how terrible it was.
And again, it doesn't matter if you die in the bed or die somewhere else. It only matters because he tried to conceal how bad it was.
Yes.
He is the one who tried to say, oh no, none of this happened, it's fine. And he really got caught red-handed. So it's unfortunate he's trying to return to public life. I don't know how, honestly, I don't even really understand how that ballot process works in New York.
Well, it's ranked choice voting. I believe it's ranked choice voting.
It is ranked choice voting,
yeah.
but they have this should be my preference.
There's and then there's for different rounds. It's very
People
strict.
watching us from New York are
Yeah, tell us in the
idiots.
comments. I know we're dumb, but it's fine. We're not dumb enough to know that, or to not know that the Democratic Socialist is probably a bad choice.
Right.
But
Probably a bad choice.
I think that things are going to get really interesting now that the polls have tightened. Cuomo is a sort of like classic dirty political operator. He's got a lot of clout in New York. He knows all the consultants. Now that this guy's within striking distance, there's going to be a huge oppo dump on him. There's going to be ads railing against his like free rent craziness. I think it's going to get really ugly.
He gave an interview to the New York Times where he had to answer like 10 questions, and I found it relatable. He was asked what is he watching right now, and he said he was watching White Lotus season 3, but he watches 15 minutes of it and then falls asleep. So it's taking him a while.
That sounds like my husband. Yeah.
Right? Doesn't that seem kind of relatable?
He did have a good bagel order.
He did have a good bagel order.
It was
The
like
everything-
scallion cream cheese on
Yeah.
an everything bagel, something like
I
that.
could never run for mayor of New York because I don't like bagels very much. I'd be dead in the water. Thanks for watching Free Media this week. We will be back soon with more content for you all. Leave a comment, tell us how we're doing, what you think, what your bagel order is, and we'll see you next week.